Well, hello there. Welcome to Dark Stigma Studios. I'm your host, Raxmo, and yeah, let's get into things. Alright, so, uh, so, one of the things that I'm going to be doing, so I did a lot of stuff, last stream kind of ended up not being super productive, things happen. Did a lot of things, but I didn't really get much done. Let me fix a few things here. Will I have you guys? There we go. That's accurate. Cool. That's working. Alright. So, so this whole logic here, I'm actually going to be using a different, yeah, I'm going to be using a slightly different tile map. Yeah, it's just a file. Okay. Cool. There's that. There's that. Cool. Alright. So a big portion of this is actually, take a look at the to-do. Properly show tile set, map class, tile set editor, map editor. I'm gonna say update to new. Because I'm gonna be using a slightly different tile set format. I'm also going to be using a completely different, see what happens here. Perfect, cool. I don't actually understand what's going on here. Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Can't really see what these are, but, oh yeah, I also don't have a capture for this one either. Need to fix that. Do that next time, but I have a different tile set format that I'm going to be using. And the main thing is that there's 5 tiles. You have the base tile, you have the horizontal edges, the vertical edges, the inside corners, and the outside corners. And with various combinations of those 5 things, and the edges and corners, they don't, they have alphas on them. They don't necessarily need to. Mainly because they're just going to be overlaid anyway, but they have the capacity to have alpha channels and things like that. So what I'm going to be doing is updating this whole thing based off of that. And one of the major things I'm going to have to figure out is... Okay. So all this stuff is... So what we have here is loading in the tile set. We have the saving tile set to file. Now, as I said last time, there's a lot of situations where you don't want to necessarily have like there's a lot of reasons why you don't want to have binaries as part of your files. But the way that I'm going to be implementing it is that it's going to be packaged into the exe, so it's not going to be exposed, and they're not going to be shared. Which means that the only files that this is actually going to even capture is going to be the so the only files that this is even going to be seeing are ones that I write myself, basically, or coming from a known source. Later on, I might end up having a slightly different variant of that, so that there's not like malicious stuff going into the binaries or anything like that. So yeah, there's that. But for now, it's going to be fine. I don't need, since I'm not using those, I don't need those. Let's see here. So the new tile set. We have this whole thing. We're getting the number of tiles and width number of tiles. Okay, so one thing that I can do here, actually, is saying, because all the way down here, the T-rect fill, I want to be able to width is equal to test dot source dot width, and the T-rect dot height also equal to the test dot source dot height. I want to do that here, due to the fact that this will make it so that we can actually see what the tile set actually looks like a lot easier. We have the base list, the auto list, and the decorations list. For the most part, it's going to assume that we have just a base and auto tile list. So for this whole thing, I'm actually going to delete that. So what I'm going to do is say for, each one's going to be 5 units wide, and I would like to have I guess it doesn't really matter all that much, because what I can do is I can have like a check mark saying that this is one tile type thing in order to have, say, different auto tile features. Like later on. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, it's very difficult for me to double check the serialization and deserialization. Due to the fact What? Oh, right, because I have all that handled by the thing because I'm a smart person. What the? I just updated and restarted it before I left. Why Windows? Because because I updated and restarted it before I left for grocery shopping. Yeah, we need to update that then. And then 5i plus plus. So this is going to go through each individual facet. So this is going to be for each, I guess, subtype. For each subtype. Well, I'm not going to do I++. I'm going to actually name this something a little bit easier for me to read later on. I usually just go I and J because that's kind of how everyone does it. So S type. For int S type equals 0. S type less than 5. S type plus plus. There we go. It helps if I have a semicolon. Cool. For int T type equals 0. T type less than I actually don't necessarily need this though. That's kind of interesting. Because I don't care about the actual number of tiles in width. Because I'm going to be formatting these tile sets very specifically. So as long as I maintain this kind of format, it's not actually going to matter. Right? Well, because I could have better formatted things, right? So I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. I can fix it later. I'm gonna keep that as an option. I feel like is going to be the proper way of doing this. So less than T height, T type plus. There we go. Alright, cool. Yeah, no, I still have things being good. Let's check up on this stream real quick. For concurrent viewers, 1. Of course. Alright. So for each subtype, I have the subtypes first. And then And then for each of those. Yeah. Fun. No, and I've also been watching the yeah, and like none of them go up beyond like 40%. Because like the RAM isn't being used more than 40%, and like the CPU is only at like 19. So there's nothing like malicious on our PC. Yeah, we have malware bytes. In fact, we have active malware bytes. Well, not anymore because it's been past. Yeah, McAfee can go suck it. McAfee's kind of garbage. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we can do a switch statement. Well, I mean, doesn't matter. I'm a bit under the weather, so apologies if I'm coughing and stuff in this video. Alright. So I do want to have the capacity to have multiple kinds of different things. So if I go into the tileset.cs, yeah, we have that. Ignore those warnings. I don't care. The source. Right, these are like that. So what I want to do right. This isn't gonna work. Okay. So I need to think about this a little bit differently. Because what I want to actually do is no. This is actually technically fine. Because this is a jagged array. And we have the base tiles. And the tiles just has information about where it is located. So if I want variations, oh yeah, no, if I want procedural variations, it's fine. Because what I can do is give it a list I mean, technically I could just give it a list of tile sets of things. So, what I can... Do I have any more coffee? I do have coffee. I'm sorry, love. Yeah, it's gonna be fun replacing all those components. Or, I mean, I think all that we really need is a new motherboard. Yeah, I mean, 7 years is still pretty impressive. Alright, I think this will be fine. Famous last words, I think this will be fine. Alright. I feel like we've heard this particular song enough times. Neuromancer. Okay, I'm okay with this. I've heard it a lot, but I don't care. It's a fucking banger. It's great. Okay, so for every subtype, we want to populate the. For each subtype, we want to populate what it is, right? And then we have the T type. God, this song is so good. God, it's a banger. God, this movie is so great. I'm plugging in both headphones for this. I just want to jam out the tunes. Cool. Alright. If active is equal to 0. Double S type. List. Okay. How do I do this? Dot key index. Just gonna initialize it as false. T. What? Oh, it's just a index. Index. The X is the subtype, and then the Y is the T type. I've also been doing a lot of stuff with shaders lately. There's actually a list of um, projects that I want to do, kind of separate from game development. Some of them are separate from game development, other ones are kind of moderately connected to it. But like I have other projects that are actually potentially super important and very difficult to solve, to finish. There's a lot. I mean, yeah, making a game from the ground up can be very difficult, but the there's like there's precedence for everything when it comes to video games. So it's really not that difficult to do things unless you're also solving some other external problem that happens to be useful for video games for your particular project. Then in that case, you're going to be doing much more complicated and sophisticated things. Video games, while difficult and complex, are relatively straightforward. It's kind of like calculus is difficult and can be very complicated, but the process behind it is very straightforward. That's kind of like what video games are like. And then there's other things in computer science and other projects that you could be doing that are more like solving actual open problems in like mathematics or just computation in computer science in general. And I have a couple of projects that are in that kind of category. One of them is direct isosurface rendering of arbitrary scalar fields. It's a lot of words. I'm not going to get into it in this stream. I probably will make a video about it later, especially once I start making some more headway on it. But anyway, I digress. So for one, we want to base tiles base list dot add current tile else we want to for wait I think I'm doing this in the wrong order because I want to go through each type first, actually. For int t type equals 0, t type less than the t height, t type plus plus. Because here what I want to do, because the auto tiles are kind of special, so I want to create a list of type tile. Well, I mean, actually, it could be a tile array of size 5. Cur auto. No, I just need to do the type. New tile of size 4. There'll be 4 auto tiles in the set. And then in here, what I'll do is for int s type. For each subtype, equals 0. S type less than 5. S type plus plus. Okay. There we go. This is better. Because we need to be able to populate this current auto. And then we need to be able to add this current auto to the auto list. So I want to be able to do that for every single type because each array within this list is an array of the auto tiles for that particular type of tile. And then all of these are going to be index aligned so that if you go for one index, so index 0 of the base tiles, of the base list, is going to be the same tile type as index 0 of this auto list. They're going to be matched index for index. Indice to indice. Well, index to index. I don't know. Whatever. So because of that, what I want to do is I want to have a new tile, current tile is equal to new tile. And then the x is going to be equal to new tile, and then cur.index is going to be a new t index, and then I'm going to initialize that with x equals, so the x is going to be the s type, and then the y is going to be the t type. I don't need to yield here. I want to y here, and then put a semicolon there. The reason being is that this is going to be really easy to do things, right? So I have these things, and now I say if the t type, if the subtype is equal to 0, then what we need to do is we need to say base list dot add current. Else, what we want to do, and this is just going to be a lot easier to math out. I actually got this kind of idea after watching someone doing auto tiles in Pico 8, which again I want to kind of do the same thing that Pico 8 is doing, just different in more actual emulation-y. And there's a few different ways I could do that. I could do the 6502. I can essentially build a 6502 emulator, which is a 8-bit microprocessor that the NES used. That'll be one way of doing it, which means that technically speaking, it would be like you'd be able to use this emulator to do a lot of other cool things, but that's for an entirely another stream, or set of streams entirely. So here, what I want to do is I want to say cur auto at index s type -1, right? Because it's the subtype. Because we have the base, we have the top, bottom, the left, right, the inner and outer. TB, LR, in, out, is equal to current. This is a much simpler Jubilee Jam for all this anyway. So I am going to be able to dynamically change a lot of these later on, because I might be able to say, oh hey, this entire tile set is just all like this entire tile set is just I want to have like the base idea of how auto tiles work. I'm just going to kind of assume that everything is wall. You can go in, because most things are going to be wall. It's going to be less of a pain in the neck to do it that way, I think. Or impassable, I should say. So I have that. And then what I can do is say, at the end of this, what I want to do is say test dot, oh wait, no, auto list, auto list dot add cur auto because that is an array. And since it's so simple, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna initialize it as a list and then cast it in, and then convert it into an array. That's a lot of overhead. It's not necessary because it's only one index off, so it literally won't matter. And then at the end of that, everything's fine. So control save, condense a lot of these things. I like using I like grouping things together. I like separating things by new lines, line breaks, just so that I can easily see various groupings of variables and things like that. When you're dealing with very large kinds of data structures and things like that with a lot of internal parts moving around and talking to each other, it's very useful so that you can just have, hey, look, this block of variables are all basically like about the same concept. They govern the same kind of thing, which is really nice to really organize your code that way. So I have that. And then that should be it actually. So if I run this, I'm definitely gonna have to go in and add a new scene to OBS, but new placeholder. Perfect. Oh, that is perfect. That is gorgeous. Yas. Yas queen. Perfect. That's awesome. Okay. So that works. And then what I can do is instead of doing that, because all that is doing is just, it just has one rectangle, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to actually replace this with is a grid, because I need to start testing to see how this whole thing actually works. So I have a grid, right? And then I can also name this grid to be name is equal to tile grid. Control save. And then yeah, because I have a PNG here that you can't see for some reason. I don't understand why it's not showing it to you. It's very strange because it doesn't actually show up in the thing. Like the mouse shows up, the actual image file itself isn't there in OBS, which I don't understand. It's very strange. I really don't understand why it's not showing up for you guys. So you can't see my glorious work in action. But it's fine. You don't need to actually see it. Alright, so I can get rid of that. Alright. So, in actuality, it'd be tile grid dot width is equal to test dot source dot width, and then tile grid dot height is equal to test dot source dot height. This is gonna be good. I think what I'm gonna do is actually rename this test to rename to current T set or CT set. Apply. Down here, I don't actually care about that right now. Down here, I don't actually care about that right Um, because I'm actually going to be having a different uh, thing altogether. So one of the things I'm going to do actually is say, also one of the things that I really like about um, C Sharp is that it has hoisting, which is really powerful. If you've done anything with shaders or Lua or anything like that, they don't hoist. Even JavaScript has a hard time hoisting things, so you can declare things before you can declare things after you use them, which is really neat. I really like that. Working with shaders, you can't do that actually, um, because it's kind of like a find and replace kind of algorithm for um compilation. Graphics cards, GPUs and CPUs have vastly different architecture because they're designed for completely different things. So programming for one and programming for the other. Programming for one doesn't exactly um, transfer over well to the other. Well, yeah, like there's a lot of concepts in programming for graphics cards that does actually convert over into programming for general purpose programming. Um, but you have things available to you in general purpose programming like the stack. You can have like like in C Sharps, you can have delegates. In C++, you can just have a pointer to a function, or like function pointers, and a lot of other really cool things like that, which we'll actually use and abuse later on when we're actually writing the game itself. Mainly because you can use that as a form of state machine kind of thing and things like that, which is really, really nice and useful and awesome and kind of phenomenal. It's great. It's a real clever bit of programming that you can use certain facets of how computers work to your advantage. And you don't have that when you're writing shaders. It's just line for line, character for character. But it runs the same program on. It runs the same program on all of the given set of data simultaneously, or basically in like lockstep. So you also want to avoid branches because it actually evaluates all the branches and then only picks the path that's actually relevant to that piece of data. So your branching logic is only going to be as fast as the full. What the hell? Marv.
Well, I give up on fucking naked first day on that PC. Jesus Christ, man! If it's gonna keep doing that, I'll just play Heroes. If it's gonna keep doing that if I play Heroes, though, I'm going to punch something. That PC's going out the window. I swear to God. So I'm gonna sit here with you while that restarts for 15 minutes. Or whatever.
I love paper. I love you.
So done, dude.
I don't know why it's having so many issues.
Because there's like 56 people and I'm trying to be on SL. I don't know.
No, it just doesn't like you.
No, it doesn't. Because it doesn't do this to you.
No.
It only does it to me.
And, like, it doesn't even do it with Minecraft.
It waits until I'm doing something I care about genuinely to do it. I think it's SL, though.
It didn't used to have that much of an issue.
No.
I mean, it's starting to kind of have issues with Minecraft, like the Minecraft launcher will just stop. We've done pretty much everything that we can to it, too.
Yeah, it's just Pilot Pro.
Yeah, I'm just old and deprecated. I wish. Can I just download a new PC? That'd be great.
If only, like, getting a fucking virtual PC fixed all your problems.
I mean,
it's not gonna make it any better, okay? not gonna fix much of anything.
Virtual machines do exist.
Yeah, but it's not gonna fix the pile of crap sitting in the centers.
Can I download more RAM?
Uh,
God, remember when that was a thing in the 90s?
What?
Yeah.
What? You can download more RAM?
Basically, the whole thing is that, like, oh, you can download, like, a program that enabled, like, virtual RAM on your hard drive. But the whole point of RAM is that accessing bits of information on RAM is orders of magnitude faster than accessing it on your hard drive. Which is why you have RAM in the first place. Otherwise, we wouldn't even need RAM at all. And we'd just use the hard drive and just allocate some portion of your hard drive for the purposes of what RAM does.
More computer facts than that, other than coding.
Right? I mean, these are cool things
This
to know.
is educational. My pain is educational. Sorry for being a featured guest. If I stand there, I swear something's gonna get broken.
But yeah, no, there's like basically this scam, like disc that was like sent out in the mail that you knew, like, well, it wasn't a virus. It was just a program that basically didn't work.
Oh.
You'd like buy, virtual RAM. Yeah. Like the concept was there, but it didn't really work out too well in practice.
It makes sense in theory.
Yeah, and there are in even modern hardware, especially if you have an SSD, if you have a solid state drive, you can absolutely get away with having some portion of virtual RAM on your hard disk because accessing data on SSD is much faster than a hard drive, but it's still not nearly as fast as actual RAM. And
Speaking of hard drives, somebody was telling me that there's, I forget which company, there's a company releasing like a 120 terabyte fucking hard drive. Not SSD, but Jesus Christ. They were like, that's a lot of games. I'm like, yeah, that's like the whole Steam library, man.
How much would that be, dude?
I don't know. That's a lot of space.
That's
a lot of
huge. Oh yeah, this is gonna be void. Wow.
Literally though, that's our main issue. Is all of our spaces.
And I keep like uninstalling them too. Like I keep going through and uninstalling a bunch of games I haven't played in a while.
When are you gonna play more Path of Life?
Yeah, I need to do that. I also need to play more Cyberman.
Yeah, I was thinking on the shower the other day. I was like, thinking, man, that was a fun game to watch you play.
It was
interesting.
very interesting.
It's
weird cool.
System. Tell them about this.
Yeah, so Cybermancy is
here.
Divine Cybermancy is an independent title written in the Source engine by a very small team of Frenchmen.
It's
French developers.
Cyberpunk should have been.
Yeah, it really is like.
It's really cool.
Like, and it's also way older than Cyberpunk 2077, by the way. It was like released in
2011 or something.
2008.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was released in 2008, I think.
I thought it was 2011.
It was either 2008 or 2011. Either way,
it looks like
bloody
PS2
ancient.
Graphics.
Like slightly better.
Yeah.
Like good PS2 graphics.
Like Half-Life.
Yeah.
But better?
I mean, closer to Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
Like the first couple first couple versions of Half-Life 2. But like oh god, the fact
that death
you get
permanently.
Yeah, death affects your character, has a potential of affecting your character permanently.
Depending on
and that depending on how you die, how often you've died, and all kinds of other things like that. Like your brains can get hacked. You can hack other people's brains and like control them and have them shoot their buddies, which is a hilarious way of going through the game. By the way, it's great. Or you could just sit from afar and snipe everyone, or you could do any number, like every single. Yeah, yeah. There's magic and like cyber tech. there's so much, like, you get overwhelmed during character creation. It's
There's
that kind
so
of game.
much.
There's so much,
Not
and
even just character creation, but like the weapon system and how that works.
weapon system is really dope. Like, it's one of those games where you like play through like the first 3 levels and then make a new character, and then play through the first 3 levels again and then make a new character because you're like learning more about how everything goes.
Hard as balls.
A, it's hard, and B, it's like one of those games that you want to figure out, and there's so many different perfectly viable ways of playing the game. Like, unlike in Skyrim where everyone turns into a stealth archer, like that doesn't necessarily happen in I Divine Cybermancy because there's just so many perfectly viable ways of going through the game. It's absolutely astonishing, and it's so good. And the storyline is like really crazy and cool and neat. So good.
People who like aren't into
Yeah, no,
like,
it's
leaning closer to character.
like if you love GURPS and love Pathfinder, you'll feel very much at home with I Divine Cybermancy.
Definitely more intense.
Yeah. You mean doesn't?
Well, yeah, it's not balanced at all. So you make programs to fix that. And
Yeah,
balance the fucking game.
It's no, I've
It's
literally made mods to unruin to actually balance out Skyrim because it's just such hot garbage. So that is initialized there, so that's fine. Oh, I don't think so right now. Let's find out. No, I'm all alone.
Hi, anybody who watches this later.
Yeah, which statistically is going to be everyone that sees this video. I mean, it says that there's one concurrent viewer, but that's probably counting myself.
Yeah. I don't know.
I
could go watch it from the computer that's trying to commit suicide in the
it's trying to commit seppuku.
I'm gonna
so
go log in so we can do that for 20 more minutes. If it's even done.
Oh, this is gonna be a problem. This is gonna be crap. I need to have another. That's fine. I don't want to do another loop though. Alright, 4. And S type is X, so we're gonna do X less than 5. Oh yeah, X plus plus. It helps if I finish the whole for loop.
So what are you learning about today, coding guru?
Well, I've changed how I want my auto tiles to work under the hood, so I had to go in and fix that real quick. Because like before, I had like a grid of tiles that would, and I had to go in and like do a bunch of math to figure out what tile was what type, and it was a pain in the ass. And now with my new format for the auto tiles, it's like 10 lines of code.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like super easy. Like a couple of for loops and an if statement, and like that's it. Whereas before it was like a bunch of nested for loops and a bunch of crazy math and multiple levels of indices and all kinds of crazy stuff.
How's this session going? Is everything working properly, or are you
Yeah.
your head like the first time? Or
No, it's fine. No, it's actually going pretty straightforward. Like the hardest part of making a game is really starting it, because after that, the more you make things, and the more you start getting deeper and deeper into it, the more things just kind of fall into place.
Then like stuff like just
yeah, in the first stream,
yeah,
my computer was just all like, "I'm gonna shut down and restart an update on you." I'm all
no,
like,
it wasn't that. I was talking about like with your issues you were.
Oh yeah, no, like my
updating.
framework was updated to a new version, and like the version of Visual Studio like updated, so a previous method that I was using to do something no longer worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a mess.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. It's great. That's what happens when you program. Like if you watch like a bunch of programming memes, they're all basically about that kind of thing. Or like things that things that you never hear a programmer say. You know what this IDE needs? A light mode. There's someone on YouTube that uses light mode in Visual Studio, and I'm all like, why? I mean, he also does a lot of stuff in Shader Toy, which like its default is light mode, so I can understand why you'd want to. Or no, actually, he was doing a lot of stuff in Unity, which the free version for the longest time doesn't have a dark mode. You have to pay in order to get the dark mode, and a bunch. Well, I mean, and a bunch of other like really cool features and stuff. So it's like whatever. Yeah. So, and the IDE for that is also Visual Studio. So in order to match the themes, he has Visual Studio and light mode as well. So I'm okay with that. Yeah, so you don't have half your screen black and the other side blinding you. So for here we want tile grid dot.
If I broke into fans in the same way now twice.
Column definitions dot add
Maybe
new.
It's not my fault. I see
column
that the
definition.
bottom of it is missing a screw. I'm gonna blame it on that. Unless those are actually holes. I'm gonna pretend they're not, and then those are screws.
Yeah. And then here, what I'll do is say tile grid dot row definitions dot add.
I think the heat is melting my brain. I feel like I'm going insane today.
Yeah.
It's between that and the PC, dude.
Yeah. Also, I had a customer in like the other day who's like, the new Doom, it's like garbage. I'm like, no.
What?
Well, like if you haven't heard of Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal, you need to play those. They're really good. I can understand saying that Doom 3 was garbage.
New Doom are you referring to, sir?
Because if he was talking about Doom 3, I totally get it. Because Doom 3 is not Doom.
But like to call
Doom Eternal in 2016 garbage? Nah. You're so good.
It's like Doom Eternal is such a good game. Like
I feel like Doom 2016 is more towards classic Doom than Doom Eternal, but they're both so good.
I get not like the way that the combat works.
Especially for Doom Eternal.
Different. Yeah, no.
Especially for Doom Eternal, yeah, I can see that.
Why somebody would like the game because of that. But like to say that it's not a good game.
It's such a good game.
Like,
it's so good.
Bro?
I mean, just like the moment I heard the opening theme kick in, just that soundtrack kick in, I'm like, yes.
Doom soundtrack is so
it's so good. They do. God, he did such a good job with it. Because like one of the main things, like I was telling my wife a little bit ago, was that like the original soundtrack for Doom was just all done in MIDI, so like it has this electro like techno kind of vibe to it out of necessity, and the newest soundtrack still retains that.
But like, it sounds like a guitar, even if it is,
It's not polyphonic.
Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
MIDI, whatever.
Yeah, like
coming out of a fucking NES.
Yeah, like the old school, like it's really close to like actual guitar, and like the modern soundtrack, he used an actual guitar and like some crazy synthesizers, like damn near used a Moog synthesizer.
Reminds me of like the
so good.
Mortal Kombat theme, kind of how that.
Yeah.
Because that has that same feeling too, like
that electro metal,
like a guitar and electro music.
Yeah, like techno metal, like heavy techno, metal tech. Like it's so hard to genre because like.
There's a genre for that. Acid rock.
Acid rock.
Yeah. That's techno and rock.
It is, but this is like techno and metal.
Like whatever though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. There probably is a stupid genres with a stupid name that I don't know about is techno's job.
I mean, fair.
I am continually learning about new genres of EDM, like, on a weekly basis. Like, sometimes.
Yeah. So for here, I actually need to initialize a new
No code stream. Spend time with paper.
is it a rectangle?
It's a circle.
Is it a circle?
You should tell that story.
Okay, so I had he was a
AutoCAD.
yeah, AutoCAD teacher. He was garbage at his job.
Mr. Provide.
He not good at his job.
Explain though.
And he
Shapes.
yeah, so he was going over how to do something in AutoCAD. I don't remember what. It doesn't matter. Someone else was telling me it anyway. And he was like, all right, so you make a circle, and he's like drawing a triangle with his hands, with his fingers, and in the air, and then you make another circle, and it's another triangle. It's bloody great. It's not good.
I really wonder if that man was like high all the time or what. He like didn't teach, just sat in his office 90% of the class period. Right?
Yeah, watching his stocks.
Erect?
Why system drawing rectangle, and system Windows shapes rectangle. Okay.
Windows. I love
Show
Windows.
potential fixes. Thank you. Do this code for me because I'm too lazy to do it myself, even though it would have probably have been faster to do it myself. And I was actually talking to someone that works at the data center, and we're like, why? And we're both bitching about how garbage
Windows?
the Windows operating system is.
Like, it's not Windows in general, it's Windows 10. It's
Yeah, Windows 10
trash,
is.
and I wish it never happened. At this rate, I'd be
Windows.
happy to go back to Windows Vista.
I mean, Windows 7 was fine.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong with Windows 7.
I mean, there were some pretty massive security issues with Windows 7, which is why they updated to Windows 8.
And they also updated to Windows 8 for tablet compatibility.
Yeah.
That was the fucking main driving force behind Windows 8.
Yeah, so they had one operating system on mobile devices and laptops and desktops, which I find cool. I mean, I'm kind of okay with that.
There's a necessity for that now because of the touch and everything.
Yeah, the touchscreen laptops and, you know, tablets and stuff, and the Windows Phone that doesn't exist anymore. Barely though.
I don't keep up with technology anymore.
They just didn't. They just ended up not doing too good.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, which kind of would have been great if it had really kicked off, because then most of the apps would have been written in C#.
You know what I think is hilarious? The fact that Samsung's really trying to push the comeback in flip phones right now.
Really?
Yeah. Did you have a fucking flip phone right now?
No.
Yeah, they do.
Dope.
Look it up.
I'm gonna have to.
Seriously. I honestly, like, there's nothing better than the satisfaction of, like, you said, what? Clack! You can't so fast. You can't do that on a smartphone. No. It's so satisfying.
Takes like 30 different steps and takes like an hour and a half to hang up your damn phone now.
It doesn't.
It's so frustrating.
You don't have that satisfying, just like.
Oh,
clack.
Actually, I can. That's fine. It's fine.
Yo, do I have to fever, or is it just fucking hot?
It's just hot as balls.
Well, no. Feel my head before you say no.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. I want to crawl out of my skin. It's not even that hot. It's 89.
Rectangle. God damn it. System dot drawing dot rectangle Correct. Correct. Equals nils. Isn't that drawing the rectangle? Circle? It's another circle?
It's doing that. That's why I said something.
I mean, to be fair, when using AutoCAD systems, you define a circle by 3 points. So you are drawing triangles to make a circle.
No.
Yeah.
Not what it is.
No, it's not correct. And you just like up and left at the end of the semester too.
Yeah,
You just quit and like nobody had, they didn't have a replacement, so half the people in the class couldn't even get their damn certification because they hadn't been in long enough.
Bucket was pissed.
Bucket was fucking absolutely infuriated. He's my front-end director, by the way, at Dark Sigma Studios. He may or may not show up in one of these streams sometime. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe. Yeah, at some point. Probably later on. A lot of this is just dry programming stuff, so... Exactly. I'm the only programmer in the entire team. It's more like managing like our social media and as a springboard and coming up with like mechanics and stuff. Fair.
I'm really good at online marketing. It was my income.
We should regain control over our Twitter and give you the deets on that. Yeah, because we have a Twitter.
Oh yeah, that's true. I have my own Twitter.
Yeah, but we have a proper Twitter.
I don't know. That's your Twitter.
Exactly. Well, not my Twitter. Our company's Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the Twitter that we made a while back.
No. Now we also have a Twitter for Dark Sigma Studios.
Okay, I'm right here.
Yeah.
Over there. I could be your...
What? Why is this not exist in this current context? I don't know. I know that his job is a call center, which he hasn't been doing. Apparently, hasn't been doing too terribly much because of COVID. Because he actually has like an office that he goes to. It's not like a remote thing. Call center for Verizon.
That sounds like a job that would make me want to die. Why is he doing that?
Apparently he's really good at it.
Really?
Apparently he's like really, really good at it, yeah.
Okay, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like Bucket is a generally angry person sometimes.
Yeah, but he's also really good at acting.
Fair, okay.
So, you know.
I just don't see him being good at something like that just because he's an asshole. Okay? I feel like he's just... I've seen the man scream at his exes, like, don't you remember?
I mean, they also had it coming, because he doesn't have a really good track record with significant others. Oh, God. Brandy.
Brandy? Who the hell's Brandy?
She ended up going out with some other fucking dude, because, like, they were... her and Bucket were together for, like, a week.
Was this a job?
Yeah.
I don't even remember this shit.
Then she goes, like, off on him because he wasn't, like, spending time with her, and he was all like, yo, I was doing my laundry. I told you I was going to be doing my laundry. She's like, goes off on him, and he's like, nah, this is over. We're done here.
I don't even know about this Brandy shit. What the fuck?
Yeah. I think that's what her name was, but she was absolutely crazy. Laundry. And he's like, you're not spending time with me! And he's just like, we're done here. Yeah, and he's just like, we're done here.
Some people... I feel like half of Drop Core was crazy people.
Yeah, it's the best and worst place to meet new people. Like,
It's
for real.
interesting. That's for sure. Never a dull moment.
No.
Always some shit happening. I don't miss 3 a.m. fire alarms.
Yeah.
Sorry that I can cause a 3 a.m. fire alarm in your
Wait,
house
yeah.
when I try to cook something.
Why is this not working? Why is this not working?
But at least you don't have to go outside for my fire alarms. I love you.
That would. Oh, wait, I don't need that because I have that hard coded, which is terrible. Don't do it. Continues to do it anyway.
Dying?
Hold
It's
on.
like a demon trying to spawn out of you.
Mm. I love being sick. I mean, not fully. You just heard me, didn't you?
You do that on a regular basis normally.
I mean,
It's not that bad, though.
fair. My whole sinus system is all kinds of fucked.
Don't honk your nose out. Those honk.
Yeah, that doesn't always work
It always
completely.
makes me
No.
feel refreshed.
No, I don't want to remove that. I need that. Don't remove the capture that I'm currently using. Stop. Get some help. Alright. So we initialize that there. Okay. And then in here,
Hey, at least your PC is working. Also, you know what's nice? When I got back on Heathen, I don't think I ever fully rested completely.
That's
it was just a
good.
bunch of floating body parts still.
Oh, Second Life. That's great.
No, I mean, that cat also doesn't.
I don't understand why. Yeah, because there's just people existing.
It wasn't like only me. There's
You know, that just reminded me of someone was doing a in like computer file or something. They're like running a program that was like super intensive. And it's like, no, it's just like, yeah, no, my whole house went up by like 15 degrees because of my PC. Yeah. Oh, and he's English.
Like British?
Yeah. So he's talking about Celsius.
Oh my god! That's 30 degrees. Why?
Yeah, it's just like as a joke, you're like, oh yeah, no, my house was like went up by like a good like 15 degrees, you know, that's because my GPU. So I just brought it back to the university and had to run on one of our, you know, systems here. Or something along those lines. Yeah, I know, it's pretty hilarious. He wasn't being serious, but still, the whole joke behind it was hilarious. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, no, your computer lab is always the hottest fucking room on campus.
No. So it's the
Why is the AC cranked up?
Yeah.
Everyone boot up your computers and you'll see why real quick.
Room full of fucking 35 Macintoshes.
Alright, so we want to add that to the how do I do this again? Um and to grid programmatically add label to grid. And yeah, accept all cookies. Now, I also kind of heard something that was like really, really cool. There's a company that instead of serving ads, they borrow like 60% of your CPU to mine a cryptocurrency.
Huh.
So you don't have any ads, and since it's only like 60% of your CPU power, like you can still, your system is still like pretty responsive, especially on like modern hardware and stuff like that. You can do other things. For like having revenue on websites. You know. But unfortunately, a bunch of people were like hacking into advertisements that just had this system on it maliciously, and just instead of 60%, just uncapped it.
Crash people's computers.
That and just to mine cryptocurrencies. Yeah. So they're like, we need to go in and change how this works because people are assholes.
People can't just let people enjoy things.
Yeah, this is why we can't have nice things. Which is frustrating to say the least. But like the whole concept behind it is like really cool because it's in a non-intrusive way of, you know, having revenue, and it's more like on one hand it's more reliable because a lot of people like have an ad blocker or just ignore ads and don't interact with ads entirely, and so it's like a really neat, really cool idea that
Yeah, it's different.
I kind of wish that more systems would be able to adopt and not be completely and utterly freaking abused. But people are assholes, so can't have nice things. So, title grid dot children dot add, and then set row, set column. There we go. Add children. Why is my caps lock on? Stop it. What? Why can't? What? Alt tab. Why can't I? Eh. I don't know.
Right? I was over here thinking, maybe spaghetti in my brain. That's a lot of noodles hard. My brain, yeah, potato. Oh, some more stuff.
Why can't I just do this? What the hell is wrong with you?
What are you trying to do?
System Windows UI element? Why cannot convert from yo? Or is it wrecked? Hmm. Yeah. Um. Do current. How am I creating the current? There we go. Do I do this? Is it just erect? That's not done properly. Is it just a Y? What? Yo. Huh.
Now he's having PC. Yours were created.
You know.
I'm sorry. Mine. I don't know what's going on.
Windows shapes rectangle? Okay. Windows shapes rectangle? Does that work? It does. Wait. Okay. And then up. Using rectangle equals system Windows shapes rectangle. I have that clearly defined. Like, I preemptively did all this stuff and it's not. Okay, cool. IDEs are great. Come on, Visual Studio, stop being an asshole. I guess the order in which I do things matters, I guess. Or something. Okay, that was confusing. So here we add the children. We add the child. A child.
That's worse than word.
Grid dot set row of correct. So the row is going to be T type, and then grid dot set column to S type. Oh no, it helps if I say that. Okay. So we've added the child, set its position. Now I need to find a way to do this. Yeah, it's painfully hot. Man, what does TSS mean? Yes, I'm still listening to your crap. Oh, you're just cool. Nice. Doom. Where is this even used? Tile. Gotcha. That is the size of the tile set. Means that what I can do when going through it is I want to be able to what? Um, uh, so show the tile set. So I have the current tile set, CT set, and the current rectangles. Right. So the tile set is going to be okay. Wait, this is new. That is new. Gotcha. That was not done preemptively. So the show tile set is going to be. We need to iterate through. Okay. Um. Okay. Okay, so the tile set. We want to show the tile set, right? So for int r equals 0, r less than t set dot base tiles dot length r plus plus. This is the row, so we're going to go through the rows, each of the rows. And then what I want to do is say, hey, for you could just do it for each, but I want to do it for loop. I feel like, yeah. So I have access to this row. And each row is going to be the type of tile, individual tile types. Oh, which means that we go through each of those. Right. Go through the each of the base tiles. We iterate through each of the auto tiles. We can do each of the decoration tiles, but I'm not gonna bother with that yet. Because I feel like that's gonna be a different logic, probably. I don't need all of the functionality yet, I just need most of the functionality. Hey, Baber? Could you come in here and turn on the light? I love... Yeah. Iron. I don't quite know yet, but I'm gonna get this thing working, and then I think I'm gonna end it because it seems like it's gonna be a good place to stop. And it's like 9.
Yeah. I don't know what time it is.
Yeah, so for each of the base tiles, we wanna crap.
Do you want this light or do you want the kitchen light?
That light's fine.
Okay. Bye.
Love, Baber. Is the computer still being asked? Is the computer still being asked? Fair. So... Wait. I could say actually what I could do is have a function in here because we have the tiles. What we want to be able to do is just show the tiles. So what I can do is say public using rectangle rect using rectangle equals system dot windows dot rectangle. All right. Dot shapes that rectangle. Yeah, I can do this. And then what I can do is, since this is going to be something that's going to be evaluated on the spot, right? Public rectangle tile, and this is going to be a getter, and it's only going to be a getter. So what this is going to be so cool. This is going to be so cool. All right, so rectangle rect equals new rectangle return rect. Yeah, usually you can just kind of condense a lot of this stuff down. If you only have like one line of code, you can condense it and just return that instead of declaring a new variable. But it's fine. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff to this. So the so I need to figure out the oh god, this is so cool. This is so cool. WPF image brush. I need to find out more information about image brush real quick. Oh, this is great. I'm so excited. It could be a tile brush, right? I want both of these so I can have the the dimension of the content in a tile brush tile gets us a description of how you're relative to the bounding box of the tile brush's contents, or whether the value is absolute. Viewport mentions the base tile for a tile brush. Okay. Which means in here it's fine, right? Case size structure. I actually don't care about that, really, do I? So the viewport is the size of that, right? I'm just gonna hard code a lot of this stuff. So image brush, iBrush equals new image brush, and then we'll say iBrush dot view box is equal to a new rect of size Is that a double or is that an int? That's an int. Okay. That's fine. Dot x index dot y. That's fine. I'm gonna say 32, 32. Do I need these? I don't need these. Okay. That is the view box. Now the iBrush dot view port is equal to a new rect of 0, 0, 32, 32. And then I brush dot view port units equals dot absolute. And I brush dot view box unit dot absolute. Control save. Okay, so this is going to on the fly create this image brush onto the rectangle. and then return that rectangle. Okay. Yeah, and then rec.fill equals eyebrush, right? So it's going to return this rectangle, and it's going to add it to um this thing here, right? So as it's creating all of this, oh, I don't even need this, do I? This is void, so it doesn't matter. I don't need to use it, and this is going to be sitting there, and I might need it later. But for the most part, what's going to happen is that tile curve. What I can do is promote this all the way up here. Um, and then I can say this equals her dot tile. And then it adds it, sets it, and everything. This should work out of the box, right? Oh god, if this works first try. If this works first try, I'm gonna lose my shit if this works first try. We don't see anything, that's fine, that's perfect. Open. Hmm. It didn't work first try. Of course it doesn't work out of the box. I never set the source. Eyebrush. Uh, image source. It's fine. Because actually what I can do is say current dot fill dot fill dot source. Okay. That would be a reference to the tile set, maybe? Yeah, because then I could say set that eyebrush or B image. And then when I create a tile, alright, when I create the tile, I say cur dot set is equal to CT set. Now it should work out of the box. Now it should work. Okay, good. My heart just sank a little bit there. Yes! Doesn't work properly. Why are you not working properly? Oh. Of course you're not working properly. I need to multiply these by 32. It works. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's gorgeous. It works. I didn't really do a good job of having a lot of these dually jams, but it's fine because I basically cranked this out real quickly. It's kind of late. My wife is getting hungry. I'm getting hungry. So this one was kind of a shorter stream, but I also feel like we got a lot more done. Only other thing that I can think of that I could do right now is add a new scene, dev stream, make a tile set editor. No, actually cancel. What I want to do is and say dev stream tile set editor. And then I can have that. What I'm gonna do actually first is launch it. So I can grab it. Window capture. Window. Yes, please. Um, yeah. Yep. It's real soon, okay? Mm-hmm. Alright. Alright. So I have the window capture, which means that I can show you the fruits of our labor. It's perfect, and all of these are actually individual tiles. If I look at it, um, yeah, it's perfect. It works. Cool. Awesome. And I have things for that, which is brilliant. Cool. Control save. So, um, I updated that for the new tile set format. Another thing that I did is, uh, yeah, I properly show tile set tiles. Um, bu- 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 so the next thing that we want to do is going to be so the very next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say the very next thing okay, so what's the next thing that we want to do? We want to have the info panel. Oh, actually. So, actually, this is going to be set dot size dot width, and this is going to be set dot size dot h, and then this is actually going to be set dot size dot width, and this is going to be set dot size dot h. This is going to be set dot size dot width, and this is going to be the set dot size dot h. That way, this is actually going to dynamically shift in case that we want to have like different tile sets or something else like that, or different size tiles. If we think that 32 pixels is too much, then we can downscale it. If we think that it's not enough, then we can upscale it, etc., etc. So I like 32 pixels by 32 pixels. It seems like a pretty good mix. So get changes. Probably show tile set tiles. Here we want to be able to yes. controls. Yeah, anything else we want to do? I think that good. Yeah, this is gonna be all default stuff. Alright. And then doop 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 doop. I don't have any of that stuff left. We haven't even finished the layout. Features. Well, I mean, I guess this is by definition done. I don't feel like all of the data is populated, but we can change that. Technically, all the features are done as described. So we're gonna update the to-do file. Next stream, all these are gonna go. I'm actually going to promote these to more important. Because those are gonna be the two most important things. Okay. What else did we do this stream? I think that's just about it, actually. Yeah. I feel like that's just about it. Okay. So let's see if we can clean up some of this code. Looks fine. We can delete some of those. We can delete that. See if there's anything here that we can clean up. Nope. That's clean. Don't really need to do that. That's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I'm gonna clean that up some. I feel like we don't need that grid to be like that. In fact, technically, yeah, I can do that. Because we're not going to be explicitly declaring elements in the HTML, on the XML XAML code here. So I can clean that up. This is important, don't need to worry about that. Let's see here. Don't care about that, don't care about that. Down. Okay. We have the entry point here. Don't really care about that. I don't actually care about that right now either. Okay. I'll collapse these. Alright, cool. So, let's see here. Control A, copy. Commit all in push. Successfully pushed to origin master. We're gonna increment. I'm gonna remove, save. Perfect. Alright, so I guess that's gonna be it. For those of you watching later, cool, thank you. Awesomeness. That's phenomenal. 2 hours of streaming, 2 hours of coding. Just great for me. I like that. So yeah. So I hope you all enjoyed it. And I hope to see you guys in the next stream. Bye.